Welcome to the 6-Minute English Podcast, your quick, no fluff guide to improving your English in just minutes a day. Subscribe now and make English a part of your daily life.
Have you ever heard of the Bermuda Triangle, Sarah? It's a place shrouded in mystery, famous for unexplained disappearances of ships and planes.
Yes, I have, David. It sounds fascinating and a little scary. Isn't it somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean?
Exactly. It's a roughly triangular area in the North Atlantic Ocean, bordered by Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. Shrouded, by the way, means covered or hidden, like a thick fog shrouds a valley.
So, things disappear there without a trace? How mysterious. What kind of disappearances are we talking about?
Well, the stories range from ships vanishing without sending distress signals to airplanes completely losing contact and falling off radar. Vanishing means disappearing completely, like a magician's rabbit.
So, no wreckage is ever found? That's really strange. Are there any famous incidents you can tell me about?
One of the most famous incidents is the disappearance of Flight 19. In 1945, 5 U.S. Navy Avenger torpedo bombers disappeared during a training flight over the area. They just vanished into thin air.
5 planes, all at once? That's chilling. Chilling means frightening or scary, like a chilling ghost story. So, what happened to them?
That's the million-dollar question, Sarah. No one knows for sure. A search plane sent to look for them also disappeared. It's as if the ocean just swallowed them whole.
Swallowed them whole. That's a powerful image. It suggests complete and utter disappearance. Like the ocean just ate them up. This is getting intriguing.
Intriguing is the right word. The mystery surrounding the Bermuda Triangle has captivated people for decades. Some blame it on supernatural forces, while others believe there are scientific explanations.
Supernatural forces? Like what? Sea monsters or aliens? Or are the scientific explanations more about unusual weather patterns or magnetic fields?
We'll explore all those possibilities as we delve deeper into this fascinating mystery. Delve means to investigate or explore something carefully. Think of an archaeologist delving into ancient ruins. So, last time we left off with our ship, the Sea Serpent, sailing into the infamous Bermuda Triangle. Remember, infamous means famous for something bad. The sun was shining, the sea was calm, but an unsettling feeling hung in the air, like a heavy blanket.
Yes, and Captain Jones, a seasoned sailor meaning he had lots of experience, felt a shiver down his spine despite the warm weather. He'd heard the stories, the whispers of strange occurrences within the triangle. Ships vanishing without a trace, compasses spinning wildly. He gripped the wheel tighter, his knuckles turning white.
Suddenly, the radio crackled to life. A garbled message, distorted and unclear, came through. It sounded like a distress call, but the words were jumbled and impossible to understand. Garbled means confused and mixed up, like a dropped jigsaw puzzle.
Captain Jones adjusted the frequency, hoping to clear the signal. The crew exchanged nervous glances. The calm sea seemed to mock their growing unease. Mock, in this sense, means to make something seem small or unimportant by comparison. Like the calm sea made their fear seem silly, although it wasn't.
He tried different channels, but the strange interference persisted. It was a high-pitched whine, almost like singing. A strange, otherworldly melody that seemed to vibrate in their very bones. It was definitely unnerving. Unnerving means it made them feel nervous and uncomfortable.
And then, the compass started spinning. Not just a little wobble, but a full-blown, frantic rotation. North, south, east, west, it pointed in every direction at once, making navigation impossible. The crew murmured amongst themselves, their faces pale with fear.
Captain Jones, trying to remain calm, ordered his first mate, Mr. Davies, to check the ship's instruments. Instruments, in this context, means the tools and devices used for navigation and measuring things like speed and depth. Everything seemed to be malfunctioning.
The engine sputtered and coughed, threatening to die. The air grew heavy, thick with a strange static charge. Even the sunlight seemed to dim, casting an eerie, greenish glow over the ship. Eerie describes something strange and frightening.
The sea serpent, once a proud vessel cutting through the waves, now felt like a toy boat trapped in a bathtub, at the mercy of some unseen force.
Captain Jones, his voice strained, called out to the crew, "Hold fast, men. We'll get through this," but even he wasn't sure if he believed his own words. The Bermuda Triangle had its claws in them, and it wasn't letting go.
So, to recap what's happened so far in our mysterious tale. A group of friends, sailing through the Bermuda Triangle, experience some strange occurrences. First, their compass starts spinning wildly, making it useless for navigation. Wildly, by the way, means in an uncontrolled and erratic way.
Then, a thick, unnatural fog descends, reducing visibility to almost zero. They're completely surrounded, feeling lost and disoriented. Disoriented means they've lost their sense of direction and where they are.
Exactly. And through this eerie fog, they see strange lights dancing in the distance, adding to the growing sense of unease and mystery. They're starting to get a little freaked out, to put it mildly.
Definitely. Remember, unease describes a feeling of worry or anxiety, like something isn't quite right. They're experiencing something beyond their understanding, and that's unsettling. So, they are trapped in this fog with a broken compass and spooky lights. What happens next?
Well, things are about to get even stranger. Remember Captain Jack mentioned an old sailor's legend about the Bermuda Triangle? He talked about ships disappearing without a trace, swallowed by the sea. Swallowed, in this context, means completely engulfed or taken by the ocean.
He also talked about a strange magnetic force pulling things down to the bottom. It's a superstition, of course, but these strange events are starting to make them wonder if there might be some truth to the legends. Superstition, just to clarify, refers to a belief based on old ideas or fear, rather than on facts.
Right. They begin to feel a strange pull on the boat, as though something is dragging them downwards. The water around them starts churning and bubbling violently. Churning means moving around vigorously and creating foam or bubbles, like a washing machine.
And then, the lights in the sky descend closer, moving towards the boat in an almost hypnotic way. Hypnotic describes something that holds your attention completely, almost like being in a trance. This pulls the story into a whole other realm of suspense.
It does, indeed. So, our group of friends is stuck in this weird fog, pulled by an unknown force, with their compass useless and strange lights closing in. They're in real trouble. The situation is very precarious. Precarious means dangerous and uncertain.
And that's where we left off. They are in the middle of the Bermuda Triangle, and something strange is happening. The question is, will they escape, or will they become another part of the legend? It's getting very exciting.
The compass started spinning wildly. Spinning wildly means it was moving quickly and uncontrollably in all directions. The captain, a seasoned sailor meaning he had a lot of experience, knew something was terribly wrong. He felt a chill, a sudden feeling of cold and fear, run down his spine.
The radio, their only link to the outside world, crackled and went silent. Crackled describes the sound of interference on a radio, like static. And went silent means it suddenly stopped working. They were completely isolated, alone in the vast, enormous ocean.
The ship, once steady, began to pitch and roll violently. Pitch and roll describes the up and down and side-to-side movement of a ship on the waves. They were being tossed around like a toy boat in a bathtub. It was a harrowing experience, meaning extremely distressing and frightening.
One of the sailors shouted, "Look," pointing towards the sky. A strange, green fog was descending, slowly covering the ship. Descending means coming down from above. This fog was unlike anything they had ever seen before.
The fog was so thick, so dense, they could barely see a few feet in front of them. Dense means thick and compact. It was like being wrapped in a damp, heavy blanket. Visibility was almost zero.
And then, as quickly as it appeared, the fog vanished. Vanished means disappeared suddenly. The ship, the crew, everything was gone without a trace. Without a trace means there was no evidence left behind, nothing to show they had ever been there.
The mystery deepened. What had happened to them? Was it a sudden storm? A rogue wave? Or something more supernatural? Supernatural refers to things beyond the natural world, things we can't explain with science.
The Bermuda Triangle kept its secrets, adding another chilling tale to its already infamous reputation. Infamous means famous for a bad reason. The mystery remained, unsolved, a puzzle for the ages.
So, let's recap some of those key words and phrases. We had spinning wildly, which means moving quickly and uncontrollably. We also heard crackled, the sound of interference on a radio.
And don't forget pitch and roll, describing the movement of a ship on the waves. Harrowing meant extremely distressing, and dense described the thick fog.
Right, and finally, vanished, meaning disappeared suddenly, and without a trace, meaning no evidence was left behind. These are all useful words to describe mysterious and dramatic events. Okay, so let's recap the story of the Bermuda Triangle mystery. We started with the legend, the unexplained disappearances of ships and planes in this area of the Atlantic Ocean. Remember, unexplained means nobody knows why it happened. This area is roughly between Florida, Puerto Rico, and Bermuda, hence the name.
Right, and we talked about some of the more famous incidents, like the vanishing of Flight 19, a group of 5 Navy planes, in 1945. They just disappeared. Poof. No wreckage, no mayday call, nothing. Vanishing means disappearing completely and suddenly.
Exactly. And then there was the Cyclops, a massive cargo ship that vanished without a trace in 1918 with over 300 people on board. Without a trace means they left no evidence of what happened to them. It's a chilling thought.
Chilling indeed. Then we moved on to explore some of the theories, the suggested explanations for these disappearances. Some people believe it's due to supernatural forces, like alien abductions, or some unknown magnetic field. Supernatural means beyond our understanding of nature and science.
Others believe it's natural phenomena, like rogue waves, sudden storms, or methane gas eruptions from the ocean floor. Phenomena is the plural of phenomenon, meaning something observable that happens in nature. Rogue waves are unexpectedly large and powerful.
We also discussed the idea of human error, equipment malfunctions, and the notorious unpredictability of the weather in that region. Notorious means famous for something negative, like the Bermuda Triangle being notorious for its disappearances. Unpredictability, well, you can probably guess that means difficult to predict.
And finally, we looked at the skeptical viewpoint, the idea that the Bermuda Triangle is no more dangerous than any other heavily traveled area of ocean. Skeptical means having doubts. These skeptics argue that the disappearances are often exaggerated or misreported.
So, in essence, the mystery remains. While there are many theories, none of them completely satisfy everyone, and the Bermuda Triangle continues to fascinate and frighten us. In essence, means basically, or to sum it up.
Remember, a mystery is something we don't have an explanation for. And it certainly is a fascinating and enduring one, isn't it?
It certainly is. Hopefully, one day, the truth will surface. Surface means to come to the top, like a bubble rising in water. In this context, it means to become known.
Thanks for listening to English Boost. Remember, practice a little every day and you'll see big results. See you in the next episode.